What's going on, guys? Well, I was muted. Hey, how you guys doing? You got everybody's talking about the Ann Taylor and Turvy situation. Hey, Amy Lou, Kathy, Williams Hardy, Beach Babe. Yeah, I'm here. I'm just getting that. You know, I'm slow to start. You know what I mean? I'm half handicapped. What are we, ones or two in the chat? I mean, we only got 8 people here. You want to start with reading a chapter? Why is my shit going so slow? Or do we want to know? I got one of my federal FOIA requests. So we'll start reading the chapter. And then after a while, when people get in here, we will I'll go over the Fed response, because it's very telling reading it how I understand to read it, and like how I've been around. I mean, I've had cases that received shit like this, not FOIA requests, but letters from the Fed. So we did chapter 7 yesterday. Do we want to start at? Let me first get rid of these. And I want to bring up the timeline. Well, this is a channel for the people. I don't need to do anything. And I took my cover off my book and I put it back on upside down and backwards. So every time I would grab the book last night, I would open it up and it would be upside down and backwards. And so that's what I'm just now changing it, which is crazy. That's how lazy I am. God damn it. I just put it on backwards again. What the shit? Okay. Hey, Christina, I'm sorry. Excuse me. So what I'll do is I'll read the chapters that we got. Oh, Satire, thank you so much. I got your donation. I don't have a like Outcast and like Dago and them. I don't have a system where it pops up when I'm not sure if it's true about Cyray. I don't have a system that it pops up when the donation pops up. I don't see it. So I can only see it when I go check my Cash App. So don't think because I haven't mentioned it. As soon as I see it, I put a post out. I hope that's good enough. I mean, I'm not technical. So we did chapter 7 yesterday. Good morning, Kathy. Hey, Carmen. I don't have my YouTube chat up, so I don't really see who's. I can't really do that. I mean, we can look it up real quick. Let's look up and see if he's doing a book. We'll search it real quick before we start reading. Hold on, let me load it up. You guys like my new avatar? Oh, you did do it on. You searched it on Google. $20.36. Yeah, Dr. Brent Turvy. Oh, hold on. Sorry, I'm not sharing. I'm a fucking idiot again. It says yeah. Can you guys see that? Yeah, it's not. I don't think it's on Idaho 4. It says Brent Turvy's upcoming book. A renowned Dr. Brent Turvy, a renowned forensic criminologist and author, is scheduled to release a new book in June 2026. The title of the book is Broken Plea. What? What? That don't make any sense. It makes absolutely no sense. Hey, Leslie. Oh, I'm not sharing. God damn it. Looks like forensic criminology. Damn it. Am I not sharing again? I should be sharing. Can y'all see this? Twiz, is this, what's the book's title? Oh, this came out in 2009. Well, didn't somebody just say Twiz new? I don't understand what this says right here. This says, hold on. StreamYard's fucking up, bro. It's only giving me. Why won't it let me do me on the side? This shit's only showing like half of my screen. Damn, 30 people in here? Okay, there we go. Fucking StreamYard sucks. Okay, can everybody see that? This shit says Dr. Brent Turvy's upcoming book. Dr. Brent Turvy, a renowned forensic criminologist and author, is scheduled to release a new book in June 2026. The title of the book is Broken Plea, written by Christopher Whitcomb, former FBI agent that didn't work on the case, and features Turvy as a contributor. So he's not releasing it. Is it June? It ain't fucking June, right? This is blowing my mind. Oh, sorry. You gotta type slowly. Go hammer your ears with your K-bar. Oh, here we go. Ray, former. It's right here. Can y'all see this? Why doesn't it? StreamYard's fucking up. It won't switch shared screens. It exits out of them. All right. Ray, a former Arizona law enforcement officer, co-founded Burness Corporation, is set to release his new book, The Truth Line, Behavioral Fusion and the Validation of Evidence, in spring 2026. Yeah, K-bar. Shut up, Jeff. This work presents a modern investigative discipline for the digital age, focusing on behavioral fusion, a method that combines behavioral analysis with digital evidence validation to strengthen case integrity. The book draws on Cyray's extensive career in law enforcement, including roles as SWAT operator, homicide sergeant, and field advisor in Afghanistan, as well as his work with the ZX Corporation and LexisNexis. The discipline described in the book serves as an intellectual foundation for Vernus Corporation, a company specialized in software training, consultation for criminal justice professionals tackling complex investigations. While the official release is listed as spring, some events scheduled, such as the Forensics Expo and the Blue Light Show 2026, have already begun referencing the book in promotional panel context. If you're interested in true crime investigation techniques or the intersection of behavioral science and digital forensics, this title is expected to be a significant addition to the field. I wonder if we can get a sample. Now I forgot what it was called. Yeah. Nope. All right, so let's go through this book. Y'all ready? Y'all want to go through this book or what? I really want to get that that thing Lance got. Twiz filled with anger all day, but Jeff's filled with the state's cock all day. I'm on everybody. I just like the blue color. All right, we did 7 yesterday, and 8 and 13. Tell her. I don't even know what to tell her. Mad Greek, Treehouse, Interview with Jazz, Beer Pong, $2 bill, and the girl in the window. That's chapter 3. Hold up. What? Oh, that's chapter 4. Any requests before I start? What about Starry Nights 22 MO 1810 modus operandi? What is that? Let's start. Let's do that. 125. Oh, this is about Brent Turvy. Okay. Chapter 5, Starry Nights 22 MO 1810 modus operandi. Dr. Brent Turvy is a forensic scientist who was hired by Ann Taylor to analyze Brady material obtained from Lake County prosecuting attorney Bill Thompson. Turvy has a broad experience, all manners of criminology, wound analysis, scene reconstruction, profiling. He's written forensic victimology, crime reconstruction, forensic fraud, forensic investigation. According to his resume, he served as director of Forensic Criminology Institute and a board member of the International Association of Forensic Criminologists. He maintains an office in Mexico, working unmodeled protocol for femicide investigations throughout Latin America. What's up, Christy? Especially in the death penalty investigations involving 4 counts of murder. Due to the volume of complexity of evidence in cases like this, attorneys on both sides hire experts to help juries weigh the guilt based on the same set of facts. Criminologists like Turvy and Sutton provide the means to which they do it. Crime scene analysis is the process of examination and interpreting the specific features of crime related to scenes, contextual information. Turvy wrote in the induction of his 2025 report to Taylor. It requires consideration of the complete forensic investigation to include context, forensic victimology, and the subsequent examination of available physical behavior, evidence, crime reconstruction, and modus operandi. It can also be used to infer motive. Though limited in some regards by a non-disclosure agreement, Dr. Turvy agreed to discuss his work during a September 26th interview. First question focused on findings. What brought me to the case was the scabbard. They were concerned because of the perspective of the attorneys. They hired me to address the question of what role the scabbard played in the commission of a crime. Scabbard's the sheath, Jeff. No specific number has been disclosed, but records indicate Ann Taylor hired several criminologists to make sense of the evidence gathered by police. Only geneticist attorney Vicki Barlow has been publicly identified. That's because she sat with Kohberger at the change of plea. Barlow is widely respected as a DNA expert, and that makes her perfect for considering the evidence found on the K-bar sheath. Just looking at it, it's wrong, Turvy says. Pulling no punches, the scabbard is placed wrong. It's too clean, it's upside down, it's underneath the body, hanging off the side of the bed. Just looking at the one set of pictures related to the scabbard, he said, okay, we need a top to bottom reconstruction of the crime scene analysis because this is wrong. One must remember that DNA linking Kohberger to the murders is inextricably tied to the sheath. The job of the defense is to poke holes in the prosecution's in the prosecution's representation of where it was found, who it was found by, how it was found, how it was handled on the way to the lab, and the chain of custody for the sheath is found to be a problem. The DNA found upon it must be considered a problem also. Fruit of the poisonous tree. The scabbard itself is wrong for this case. Wrong for the crime, Turvy explained. And then once we expand out from there, the next question becomes the logistics of how the crimes were committed. The idea that one person could do all of this in such a narrow time frame is difficult to make sense of. Then also, the police found nothing on him, no indication that he carried any evidence from the scene when he left. Turvy's right. Evidence presented by Bill Thompson at Coburn exchange of plea hearing suggests plot gaps that are massive in scope. Most important might be his assertion that a lone offender entered the house at 4 a.m, killed 4 college students, less than 5 minutes, left a witness unharmed, and escaped without a trace. Every time I look at the chat, I lose my place. Yes, there's a matter of DNA, but Turvy has a great deal to say about its origin, and therefore its validity. In short, he don't buy it. The victims are soaked in blood. The floors are soaked in blood. Well, in the bedroom, he says. There's nothing on him at all. He was talking about Koberger, the fact that during extensive multi-agency searches of his Pullman home, Washington apartment, and Hyundai Elantra and his parents' home, not a scintilla of forensic evidence was found. So because those things are true, you start small and then use your information to expand on the questions and try to figure out how the blood moves around the scene or fails to move around the scene, and how one person couldn't have done it in a short time. Then you realize all the evidence points to more people, or at least 2 people, multiple causes of death, multiple weapons, and it just sort of builds out. You start asking questions, and the logistics makes it impossible for the narrative to hold. Many of the follow-up questions seem obvious. How does one reconcile Talbot's December 6th report with the handwritten inventory he filed on November 13th? If police found the knife sheath in the bed under Mogan's thigh, why did Talbot state in his November 13th inventory that it was found on the floor? And I don't think that's what it said. I think he's confused. I think it said on the bed on the 3rd floor, on floor 3. I think it said on the bed on floor 3. So I don't know. Why does the sheath not appear to be in Nunez's body cam footage? Warner looks down, shining his flashlight from less than 2 feet away. When Nunez goes back to look for himself, he does not seem to notice, because it wasn't there, Turvy believes. During his search, Detective Talbot wrote during his search that he found the sheath on the floor. Perhaps we should believe him? If this is true, how important is all this within the larger investigation? Huge, Turvy said. Jeff, I think you're it's as much as you type, that's commendable when you have 2 penises in your hand. Somebody's at my door. I'll be right back. Sorry. All right, sorry, I'm back. Did you miss me? Somebody was knocking at my door. It was one of them. I don't know. They wanted to do a free estimate on your windows and shit. No, thank you. I will do it myself. Okay. Oh. So detective, they didn't find nothing in his car. Turvy believes because he wasn't there. Detective Talbot wrote during his search that he found the sheath on the floor. Perhaps we should believe him. If this is true, how important is all this within the larger investigation? Huge, Turvy said with a nod. Because the first people at the scene, the first documentation of the scene, does not indicate its position. It isn't even mentioned by first responders, and that's huge. If you walk into the room and you walk around the corner of the bed, you're going to see it. Perhaps Nunez and Warner saw the sheath, but they did not mention it in their reports. Mogan's leg is outside the bed with her foot on the floor, and the knife scabbard. Why does he use scabbard sometimes and then sometimes sheath? Or why does AI use them words? So Maddie's foot's on the floor, scabbard's underneath her thigh, and it's sticking straight out, Turvy argued. If you are seeing her, you are seeing the scabbard. Turvy believes this could mean either that it wasn't there when they first looked, or they're lying about it not being there. This could mean either that it wasn't there when they first looked, or they are lying about it not being there. Sutton does not directly address the issue in her report. Bill Thompson doesn't mention it. To date, no one from either side has discussed the apparent discrepancies in how, when, or where the K-bar sheath was found. Is it possible for them to miss in a case where you're looking at a bunch of blood and a bunch of bodies? Turvy said with a shrug. Yes, but these officers are not idiots. These people are from Idaho. They know what a knife sheath looks like. They're not new to the game. A review of all the reports shows no mention of the sheath prior to Talbot's search warrant discovery. And then Talbot says he found it on the floor. I still don't think that's what he said. I think Whitcomb is misunderstanding, because it says on the bed on floor 3. According to photos, Turvy believes that this is a mistake that is repeated throughout the file, that it's found on the floor. Once he said it, other people start saying it. And what's funny about that is you can tell who looked at the crime scene photographs and who didn't. Loop feedback is common to both police investigators and what Ed Lorenz theorized about chaos. Once information is introduced at a crime scene, it tends to be repeated over and over until everyone considers it truth. The statement is now either Turvy said there are people out there repeating in document. The statement is now in the ether. There are people out there repeating it in documentaries. There are people repeating it on the internet, different discussion boards. People think that is where the scabbard was found. So for me, it's an obvious problem. Placement of the scabbard is a problem. Photographs released to the public show the tip of a K-bar sheath lodged between Mogan's outstretched leg, where the leg is hanging off the edge of the bed. She's wearing black sweatpants to provide clear contrast to the brown sheet, as do the blood-stained off-white sheets on a light beige comforter. You have a knife sheath placed upside down underneath the thigh, and it's got just a teeny tiny little bit of blood on it. But the bed sheet underneath is spattered with blood, with little dots all over the place like a starry night. And the sheath doesn't have hardly any on it. When it slides on the top of those blood stains, those blood splatters, it doesn't disturb them. It means they were dry. So Turvy believes somebody, after the blood dried, slid this knife sheath under her thigh. I think the point's valid. The porous nature of the leather suggests that contact with liquid on the sheets would have produced transfer smears. But it didn't smear. So if it didn't smear and it didn't transfer from the knife sheath, as it was being shoved under the thigh, that means the blood on the sheets was dry. That means either the offender was there after the blood dried, or law enforcement found it, as Talbot said, on the floor and shoved it under her thigh to make it look dropped comparatively. The K-bar sheath was found on the bed, as Talbot's photos suggest, and not on the floor, as Talbot recorded. How did it end up lodged beneath Morgan's thigh without any transference? How did liquid blood from these horrific murders soak the bed and sheets, the comforter, and the victim's clothing, but not transfer to the sheath? Either way, Turvy said somebody deliberately placed it. Doesn't matter who at this point. Somebody deliberately placed it there. And then you add what appears to be fabricated chain of custody, it becomes a piece of evidence that is essentially, in any other courthouse in America, inadmissible. An apparent fabricated chain of custody, I asked. No allegations of this kind have been made among dozens of in limine motions by the defense. What chain of custody? At this point, Turvy produced a photograph never before disclosed to the public. It depicts a brown paper bag that had been folded flat and sealed with a red and white tape label evidence. The bag itself is hand dated 11/16/2022, and it's signed by someone who, though difficult to read, appears to be Shannon Amadem. Three white stickers. The first at the top says chain of custody. It shows transfer on 12/16 from a person named Florico to McKenna. On the line beneath that, document same-day transfer from McKenna to a person with only initials identified, TDO. That is just a guess. However, because the penmanship is abysmal. Beneath the labeled marked chain of custody is a second sticker, Idaho State Police. Beneath that is a placed barcode here. So the barcode is actually placed at the bottom of the bag. The barcode sticker is labeled M2022-4841. Lab item 1. Biosuspected biostain. K-bar sheath with USMC logo. After that, the label is marked Moscow Police, Agency Case 22-MO9903. Returning to the label above, someone has handwritten case number D22-30, followed by description knife sheath, offense date 11/13/2022. Subject UNK. Unknown. Most important, according to Turvy, the chain of custody portion of the form shows the following. I'm not sure. about Gilbertson. God damn it, man. These fucking people. Hold on 1 second. Fucking Christ. Sorry. So I told the window people, they came, I told them no. So what they do, they left and sent their boss. I guess they figured they'd send the big guns. I said, I know you said you do all the work yourself. Let me stop you right there, bro. I didn't say that to mean come back and ask again. All right, where were we? Yeah, it's crazy. I want to know how they got all them letters too. And when I FOIA'd Dateline, I FOIA'd sent in a public records request to see Dateline. I wanted all the information, how much they paid, the receipts, all that shit. They told me MPD told me they don't keep a record of that. All right, so I don't feel like reading right this second. Take a break from reading, and I want to show you guys this my FOIA return that I got from the FBI. Now that we got like 61 people in here, and then just we'll go back to reading. All right, so I got a response from the FBI. And let me scribble out my shit. We'll go over the letter, and then I got the I went over the numbers of what they like of why they excluded one of my FOIAs. So let me check and see if there's any more information. Let's see. And what's funny is I got it yesterday on the 29th, but it's dated April 30th, which is weird. You guys see that? Okay, so this is what I requested everything they have. One of my FOIAs, I requested everything they had or have whatever on Coworker from on or after the 13th. So the FBI has, well, this is in response to your Freedom of Information Act. Please see the paragraphs below, information specific to your request. The FBI has completed its search for records subject to the FOIA that are responsive to your request. The record on third-party individuals you requested, individuals you requested are categorically denied pursuant to FOIA exemptions B6 and B7C, 5 subsection 552, B6, B7C. Please be advised that you have not sufficiently demonstrated that public interest that the public's interest in disclosure relating to the operations and activities of the government outweigh the personal privacy interests of these individuals, which it's only him, to this individual. While the existence of FBI records is acknowledged, the records are exempt from disclosure, as processing these third-party records would constitute an unwarranted invasion of personal privacy. As a result, your request is closed. Let's read that again. While the existence of FBI records is acknowledged, the records are exempt from disclosure, as processing these third-party records would constitute an unwanted invasion of personal privacy. As a result, your request is closed. And the third party I requested is Brian Kohberger. No, it ain't. That shit ain't untouchable. Not at all. You just gotta, they're just making it hard. Dealing with the FBI is it's a handle. I mean, it's a handful. You never get the first one. You always got to appeal, maybe even twice. So, please refer to the enclosed addendum for additional standard response applicable to your request. Part 1 includes standard responses that apply to all requests. Part 2 includes additional standard responses that apply to all requests for records about yourself or any third-party individuals. Part 3 includes general information about FBI records that you may find useful, and enclosed is our explanation of exemptions. So this right here, I wrote this, filed this last night for this one. But okay, so we got B6, B7, C, 5 U.S. subsection 552, B6, B7. Okay, so you guys ready for this? Part 1. Up here, remember, Part 1 includes standard responses that apply to all requests. And that's for Brian Kohberger. Congress excludes 3 categories of law enforcement and national security records from the requirements of FOIA. FBI responses are limited to those records subject to the requirement of FOIA. Additional information about the FBI and FOIA can be found at the website. Intelligence records. To the extent your request seeks records of intelligence sources, methods, or activities, the FBI can neither confirm nor deny the existence of records pursuant to FOIA exemptions. B1, B3, and as applicable request records about individuals, PA exemption J25 USC subsection 5552 or 552. The mere acknowledgement of the existence or non-existence of such records is itself a classified fact protected by FOIA exemptions B1 and would reveal intelligence sources, methods or activities protected by exemptions. Damn it. Exemptions B3. This is standard response and should not be read to indicate that there are any such records do or do not exist. Bullshit. Okay, part 2. Requests for records about any individual watch list. The FBI can neither confirm nor deny the existence of any individual name on a watch list pursuant to FOIA exemptions B7. What do we have up here? B7C. And PA exemption 5 USC subsection, same thing. This is a standard response. They all say that standard response and should not be read into. Request records about any individual. Witness security program records. The FBI can neither confirm or deny the existence of records which could identify any participant in witness security program pursuant to FOIA exemption B3. And it's still the same U.S. Code subsection 552. The mere acknowledgement or the existence, the mere acknowledgement of the existence or non-existence of such records would leave confidential informants' identities and information exposed, law enforcement techniques, and endanger life or physical safety of individuals. Record searches and standard search party. It's part 3. So this is completely different from other ones that I've got. So requests and standard search policy. Record dissemination section searches for reasonable described records by searching system such as the record system, location responsive, applicant investigating intelligence personnel. The CRS is an extensive search system of records consisting of applicant, investigative intelligence personnel, administrative, and general files compiled by the FBI and its law enforcement, intelligence, and administration functions. CRS spans the entire FBI organization, comprising records of FBI headquarters, FBI field office, FBI legal attaché, worldwide electronic surveillance records are included in the CRS. The standard search policy is a search for main entity records in the CRS unless specifically requested. A standard search does not include a search for reference entity records or administrative records of previous FOIA requests. And remember, this is just for information on Brian Kohberger that I requested from the FBI. Anything on Brian Kohberger on or after November 13th, 2022. Excuse me. Main entity records created for individuals or non-individuals who are the subject or focus of an investigation. Reference entity records created for individuals or non-individuals who are associated with the case but are not known subjects or the focus of an investigation. Okay, now here's where, and reading all that, okay? Now we got B6. Okay, we got B6, B7, C, 5 U.S. Code, subsection 552, B6, B7, C. Okay, so now down here, B6. Now this is explanation of exemptions. B6, personnel files, personnel and medical files, and similar files that the disclosure of which would constitute clearly unwarranted invasion of personal privacy. Personnel, not personal, personnel. B7, records or information compelled for law enforcement purposes, but only to the extent that the production of such law enforcement records or information could reasonably be expected to interfere with enforcement proceedings, would deprive a person of a right to a fair trial or an impartial adjudication. That's B. Why? How is this? How can we he didn't have a trial. So how can requesting information deprive him of a right to a speedy trial or a fair trial? And then we got this down here. Title 5, Section 552. Six and 7. Testing or examination material used to determine individual qualifications for appointment or promotion in federal government services, the release of which would compromise the testing and examination process. What the fuck is that? And 7, material used to determine potential for promotion in the armed services, the disclosure of which would reveal the identity of the person who finished the material pursuant to a promise that his or her identity would be held in confidence. And this is, and I appealed it last night. I sent an appeal. This is for Brian. That's all it was. I didn't ask about the whole case or request any. This isn't requesting any agency information, or I literally requested what they have from for Brian Kohberger on or after November 13th, 2022. And then I was looking up what it could mean. I mean, besides the definition. Y'all are moderators. Do it. That means. Let me find. Sorry, I'm trying to find it. Okay. It just says the same thing. And but it gives more. It reads it. It's covers personnel and medical files. Protects private personnel information. Agencies use it to withhold names, addresses, phone numbers, birth dates, and other identifying details of personnel. Of fucking personnel. I don't know what that means. What's going on in chat? Don't look like you're going fucking crazy. Kane. So why the hell would they be blocked like that? The other ones I got just say public information or public it's not publicly the public request. Hey Stoner. So, like, your request doesn't put. There's not enough public opinion. And I just can't. I can't. First of all, I can't believe there's not enough of public opinion. Oh, I understand, but why on the Brian Koberger? Why on that specific one was like that? Yeah, do what I don't shit. Do what you want. This is the people's channel. Hey, you guys like my new avatar? I ain't giving out shit on the popsicles. They're mine. I made that all by myself. I just want to piss YouTube off. That's my main thing. Yeah, he said that yesterday. He said, I said, what's the point of having multiple accounts? And he was like, what do you think? I'm like, I don't know. So you can count the little amount of friends you have as double. And he was like, no, so when I get kicked out of chats. What the fuck? Like you could just not get kicked out of chats. I still want my channel merch to be the old school, the old school clown punching bags with the sand in the bottom of them. I want to make them with Jeff's face on it as my channel's merch. Hey Leah, sorry. And if it wouldn't cost money to get it created, I would just send them to all my subscribers. I even told Jeff I would give it. Yeah, oh yeah, Dylan. But all right, we can go. You guys want to go back to reading, or you want to talk about this Turvy shit? I think Dylan has DID. Let me go to the Turvy shit. All right. It's a journey, Will. I'll tell you that. Be right back. Let me get it going. All right, here we go. Okay, so this is, I guess the first one. The defense team makes their first statement. Oh, well, I guess I got to share it. Yeah, StreamYard's acting real strange. I like, we don't see the Black Explorer leave, I don't think. Or if we do, it could be could the Black Explorer be what was parked at the in the Linda Lane parking and be the 424 car that pulls out? I don't know, because I go like, I want to think like that. I think they joyrided in them cars, and they just edited they just blocked them out of the view of the camera. They where wherever it was one of the cars that were in the driveway. I think that's why they did the 1222 audio comparison, and let Payne drive by while they recorded him, so they could put that footage wherever there was a car that they couldn't explain. Yeah, I mean, I was just, I don't think it is either. I just was just throwing it around. Just, I don't know. Oh shit. But we've never seen anything about where's the video? Where's the video for 12/20/22? It don't exist. That's what they say. No, I don't want it to stop. All right, so this is lawyers for convicted Taylor and Taylor. I know we all read this. I think that's what it. I think that's the 429 car. I think that is the Explorer. But I go back and forth between, it could be the Explorer or it could be that Avalanche that's parked on the side, because we don't ever see that that Avalanche come in any other time. You know. Ann Taylor joined public defender Lisa Mathoff. Oh, what the hell? I am not subscribing. You got me screwed up. Yeah, I'm just, when I said that, I was just thinking how they would have, because I really think they joyrided in the in them cars, and I think that's why they say Ethan's Jeep was broke down, because I think that picture when they're in the ski mask, what are they, in the pink and the black ski mask. Well, I'm fucking getting them fucking cameras. I'm getting that footage. The Linda Lane footage. Brent Turvy works as a crime scene analyst. Man, I'm not fucking subscribing to this shit. I don't see how they can test. They cannot test the DNA. They leave that shit untested. There ain't no way that motherfucker had a squirrel in his hand. Hold on, let me find it. Does anybody know where the that Ann Taylor statement is? The cops trashed that. Cops trashed that house. %. They trashed the house. On purpose, I think. He owes $305,000. That's crazy. I'm getting it from. I'm trying to get it. I got I think 5 days, and from 11. I want 11 to 2. That's them. They only have clips, and that 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. time frame. And I don't know. I'm sure Connor got it from MPD, right? Let's see which body removal. Which video is that? Can he get more retarded Twiz? Did they ever interview the guy that when Ethan was pulled over? Where? What happened to fucking YouTube? I need to get my I need to make Karma turn blue. I need to make Blea turn blue. Which one, Blea? The that was the Chapin Chapin traffic stop. I don't care. Go ahead, type in caps. Blea, what were you talking about the one that I was just showing? Sorry, I'm going through this. And we can go back and read the book again. You guys want to read some more book? Sorry for what, Stoner? Yeah, that's it's ridiculous that they are redacting anything. I'm not. Whitcomb is. I don't know. He's a Fed. I mean, he's a Fed. Period. Plain and simple. He's a Fed. And if anybody knows how to stage find indicate identify a stage crime scene, it's Turvy. Christ, Will, in 2022, none of them lived where they said they lived. I think Aunt Emily and Josie lived at 1118. I think Hunter's apartment was at the Whites. Or did he live at the frat house? No, because he was doing graduate classes. Has everybody heard the Lakeland interview? I think what I really think about this, I think Anne's pissed because I think Anne was supposed to be, she was put in there to get to a plea. Hey, Don. Hey, Liv. And I think she's pissed now because it's coming out of all this shit. What Kane say? I missed it. I ate a whole delicious lunch and walked my dog. Blah blah blah. And I also think that we're getting. We're not getting. They're released the files that they're releasing, the FOIA files that they're releasing. I don't think is the same that's in Discovery. I'm sure everybody's seen the who's Catherine Twiz? Is that something I should know? See, every time I pick a new paper, yeah, Ann Taylor is her. She came from there. Just look at the difference. Look how Becca Barlow. Look how she was talking to the judge, and look how Ann just was like a little child getting scolded. The judge would cut her off. So this timeline has got me. I've been looking at this shit forever, and I can't make sense of it. Let's skim through this book a little bit and see what else we got in the book. Bicka was going hard at Hitler, but Anne wasn't. She was honestly. She had a She told Judge about how she wasn't getting all the stuff, or she was having a hard time going through all the stuff, or something like that with Judge. But then right after, she asked for a change of venue. And they blatantly, inside your bones, they blatantly hide, they blatantly hide the shit. Like, the craziest part in this fucking case is how all the reports are written, like, years later. None of that shit would stand up in court. It shouldn't. Anne is pissed. That's why, exactly what she said about this is what makes me think this. His reliability should be gauged by his conduct. Why are you throwing now his reliability is in question? Why is she putting one of her experts' reliability in question? Now anything Turvy says, the prosecution is going to be like, well, he did break this, he did do this. I don't see Turvy. I don't got Turvy pinned as that kind of person. And how can you say, as Ann Taylor, how can you say, like, the case is over? How can you expect you like an indefinite? You expect me to have an indefinite confidentiality report? I mean, agreement? Like, I can't talk about this shit. Never. He ain't fucking JFK. Anne graduated. She was in a sorority. She worked under Bill Thompson. She is the state. And the way Ann Taylor brought in experts, but was only giving them, she kept her experts compartmentalized. Yeah, so if he talked about things that was outside what he was hired for, his confidentiality agreement only is for what he was hired for. You can talk about other shit. You just can't talk about what you were hired for. I Yeah, I mean, I got so many things that I think like sometimes like it could it have happened in the 8 hours that they said 911 wasn't being called. Could we know Kaylee bought and sold stuff. Well, I take. Oh, I Twiz, I'm right there with you. I guarantee that shit. That's why Hitler said, what do you say in the case? It that accusation could have major effects on people's careers and reputations. What about the man sitting right there about to get the death penalty? Fuck the career of the people who are on some bullshit. Fuck their career. I'm on trial for my life. I just can't wait to get this Linda Lane footage. I want I want it. I'm not even sure if did Connor get his officially from MPD. There's my opinion. That's why they tore down the house. The cops thought they thought they were going to find something in that house because it's a in my opinion, well, even here in Baltimore, when like at Brown University, sorority houses are stash houses. Um, and the fraternities are the distribution. When you bust one, they got that's. But I think they thought somebody had something hidden in that house. That's why everybody was there. That's why the HVAC guy was there to search. I think he probably ran a camera through the vents. That's why they had the picture of the vent. I That's why they had a guard sitting on the house in case they didn't want somebody that like the cops tried to find it. They couldn't find it. They were afraid somebody was going to return and retrieve it if there was something there, possibly return and retrieve it. And they didn't want that. Whatever it was, drugs, money, anything. Maybe that the SD card that somebody maybe crypto had like a whole bunch of shit. Um Mike's Jeff. But Why in the hell would you, as a defense attorney, be okay? And why wouldn't Brian have flipped the fuck out about them tearing down the crime scene? Because the only thing that would need to happen is jurors stay downstairs. Ask the jury would be like, "Hey, we want to stay down here. Can you send somebody upstairs and scream? And we want to see if you can be able to hear it, and check the acoustics on each floor." And as soon as they did that, Dylan's story goes out the window. But my opinion, even before that, Dylan's story goes out the window because on the 17th, she's talking to Detective Gooch, and Gooch says something about we know your activity shows you weren't asleep. And Dylan's like, yeah, I know I wasn't asleep. I have the text messages. So right there, she admitted to lying in the grand jury, because I don't know what happened in the grand jury, but I'm sure she said they slept. They went in and slept. I don't know. You never know, Will. You never know. If they could have pushed for it, they would have put them on buses. Crazier shit's happen. Jury usually likes to go see the crime scene. It was destroyed while the case was still in Latah County. And I don't see how, as a defense attorney, you can allow that to happen. Lakeland's second interview? You guys want to listen to Lakeland's second interview? Judge would allow it. What judge would have allowed that? If my internet starts screwing up, then this apparently there's two. This is from December 4th. And there's one, I think it's a 2-hour one from what was it, 11/19? Can you guys hear that okay? Okay, hold on. Sorry.
Do that.
Give me 1 second here. So the last at least picture with whatever you have is.
Could you hear that? The little bit that was just played?
.41 p.m. before you go to. Okay, and who did you go there initially by yourself, or did you go with anybody there?
I went with a couple people.
Okay. Did you ride there together or walk, or how'd that
yeah,
transpire?
we had a ride there.
Okay, who went with you in the ride there?
It was
in the ride on the way there?
In the car, yeah.
Okay.
And then Jack was the one that drove us.
You know his last name?
It's Matthew.
Okay.
Sounded like she said McClure at the end. But yeah, I think that's why they were called, because they were so close, Hunter, Emily, and Josie and them. And it's awfully funny that when they were talking in the canvas, that when they were talking to 1118, whoever they were talking to said somebody left at 3 and came back at 5. And when the cop arrives at 1118, everything's redacted. It's so redacted.
I just kind of got ahead of myself. How are you doing?
All right.
Yeah.
I mean, as good as I could.
Sure.
Yeah.
Are you going back to school?
Mm-hmm.
Are you doing the remote thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Are a lot of the people from your classes and stuff doing the same thing?
I think so. Yeah. There's like a good chunk of people in like all my classes that are they're doing like the Zoom option and stuff. So.
You stay in pretty close touch with like, you're in a sorority, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're in. That's right.
Yeah.
You stay in touch with all those people pretty frequently. Does everyone kind of feel in the same way? Like, I want to stay home and do the remote thing?
Yeah, there's like some girls from our sorority that are there. And like chose to go back because just like they find like normalcy, like being in school and stuff. But yeah, I'd say like it's like half and half between like the girls that stayed home and the ones that went back to Moscow.
Okay. All right. So with there's a drove, and then could you pull that back up?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so right here, and this is the first one you took at the party?
Yes, I believe.
Is that 644?
Or wait. I didn't see that one. No, this is still at the frat house.
Okay.
This, and then this was the first one.
That was the first one there.
Okay, so sorry, I have that one.
Where's the report for her second interview?
No, that's right. So that's about 10:35. When you got to, I know we discussed kind of who was there for that, but do you remember who was there right when you got there?
I first got there. I know Ken was. There really wasn't many people there when we got there.
Okay.
Because it wasn't really like going to be like a big party thing. It was more of like
a closed house thing
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think we were some of the first people that got there.
Okay. And you were there until close to midnight-ish?
Yeah.
Probably?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just turn it off on us. Okay, cool. So that one, I'm just gonna write down the timestamps.
Okay,
I know I could pull the metadata off the pictures.
No.
I will later. It's just easy to.
Mhm.
Is this
Yes.
getting iced?
Yes.
What was that?
Yeah.
That's
That's
okay.
her house. I think it's just the same. Oh, that video is so embarrassing.
We've all been there.
We've seen more embarrassing stuff
Yeah,
the last 3 weeks than
I'm
what
sure.
we've seen on your stuff and phone. So don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Who's
I don't know who that is, but other people seem to know him.
Looks like a good dancer, huh?
I guess, yeah. I just met him that night, but I don't remember what his name was.
my knees was giving out if I tried to do that?
Yeah.
So that's at Kim's house.
Yes.
Okay.
And that is at like Xana's house.
So this is okay.
That is
And it was
My ADD is kicking in. So I want to listen to this question.
So like how drunk or intoxicated, you guys say? Like 10 being like completely passed out on the floor, like no idea, you know.
I'd say we were both probably about maybe like a 6 or 7.
Okay. So definitely feeling good.
Yeah, I think I might have been a little bit more drunk than she was
Mhm.
because I was kind of drinking a little bit throughout the day.
Yeah.
It was a game day. But yeah, I think I might have been a little bit more drunk than she was.
Okay. But I just wanted to like
Yeah.
gauge like, no, we weren't drinking at all, or we haven't
Oh,
been
no.
drinking at all, or we were drinking, or but just a little bit, or we were completely shit housed. Like
No, yeah, like I remember everything, so like I didn't like black out or like anything like that.
okay. And then now there was beer cans everywhere, or like there was just a bunch of beer cans, and beer pong tables. Like were you guys playing? Did anybody play beer pong, or is that like?
I'm not. We were Friday because we had our sorority formal, and there was a
party there the night before, right?
Yeah, and like sometimes they don't really like clean up necessarily the day after. They usually wait till like the weekend's over.
So a lot of those beer cans and the beer pong table set up and all that stuff was like leftover kind of from Friday night.
I would assume so. I mean, I wasn't there during the day Saturday, so I don't know if like people were over then. Because typically, like, because there was like this 5.
Okay, and do you know if like the party continued on Friday night?
I mean, this party then people went over, or because I didn't go to that.
No, I'm assuming you've been over to the house.
Gang, gang.
Quite a few different times. So like,
William, that's been my main issue. That backpack had chewed gum in it. And how do you, that's just another one of the DNA samples that are at this crime scene that they don't test. Like chewed gum and hair, that's like slam dunk type case shit. It's like slam dunk case type shit.
that table that was set up with all the beer pong cups, like, is that like the beer pong table? Like, is it always there, or does it like get moved somewhere else?
It usually gets moved. So like on that Friday, when we had our formal, it was in the kitchen.
Okay.
And then Saturday when I got there, it was in the living room.
Okay.
So I think it frequently gets kind of moved.
Okay.
And it also used to be kept outside, like when it was nicer out.
So it's just a straight up beer pong.
It's not used for really anything else.
Not a dinner table. It's literally just a drinking beer pong.
It is,
table.
yeah.
On Friday when you were over there, what time was the what'd you call it?
The formal. So we had.
I think the party went over until I think there was a party Saturday. I think the Whites party. If there was a Whites party at 4, like it ended at 4 a.m. They said. I think it went to 1122. Or there was never a Whites party, or there might have been a couple Whites parties, but I think the party was Saturday. The party was Friday into Saturday.
Had to be at our sorority by 7 o'clock. So we all left between like 6:30 to 6:45.
Okay. And do you know if like the party continued on Friday night from there, or?
I'm not completely sure because I know like Xana and Ethan, they didn't go to the sorority formal, so I don't know if other people went over after we left.
Okay.
But
so possible, but
it's possible, yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't go back there after I left to go to the formal at 7.
Gotcha. Okay. Sorry, I got a little excited.
No, it's okay, man. And so the whole time you were there on Saturday, or let me back up. Saturday night, you weren't there until late, actually early Sunday morning, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you were there for, let's see here, about 12:40-ish is when you get there, right?
Let the content of your brain show itself and realize your opinion is a fucking fantasy.
Or because you went right to the bathroom, and then you're there until almost 2 o'clock. I want to say right around there. Okay. What made you go home?
I'm not exactly sure. I think it's because like I just wanted like food because I went home and I like right away made that bagel, and also like usually when I stayed at their house before a couple times, like just when I didn't want to go home, I usually slept like in the bedroom downstairs, like the empty one.
Yeah.
And it's not very comfortable, so I think I just like was like I'm just gonna go home.
Just ready to be done.
Yeah.
Was that Snapchat was that of the bagel?
Yes, that was.
Did you drop it? I'm guessing you dropped it or something.
Yeah, I dropped it on the floor and I had cream cheese everywhere.
So I think you said it took about, how long does it take to get home from?
It's about 15 minutes.
Okay. And then I know I'm asking to go back to and like think about.
So they were too drunk to walk. They got a Sobro to drive them from Taylor to 1122. But she walks home. Refuses. Dylan says, I can call you a ride. She refuses the ride. Walks a 15-minute walk home.
About when you made a bagel, but so you get home, do you immediately make the bagel? Is that like the first thing?
Yeah, because I had the bagels and cream cheese in my room.
Okay.
So I walked straight up to my room, and then because I live in the sorority, I was on the 3rd floor, and I grabbed a bagel, and then there's a toaster like in our lounge, so I didn't have to like go down to the kitchen or anything.
Okay.
So
that I think was at 219. I want to say, could you look it up real quick?
Yeah. And I
So-
had already like
So
taken
within
a
like 5 minutes
Of getting home is when you did that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a 15-minute walk for her to get home. She got home and made it and took a picture of her bagel at 2:19. So let's give her 2 minutes to make a bagel. But she never seen Kaylee. I'm not sure. Let me-
Before, and you were on the main level the whole time you were there, right? Watching-
Besides going
Yeah,
up the
aside from when
stairs.
you went up the stairs and then left.
Yeah.
And the whole time you were there, like nobody else was home that you knew of, right?
Not
And-
that I knew of, no.
And you left before any of the other four got home, right? Okay.
And I didn't like pass them like when I was going down the road or anything.
Okay. Yeah, we're just, I mean, like I said before, we're the closer we can get to like minutes of how this kind of played out, you know, is
Yeah.
what we're kind of going for here. When you were at and then came there, what did you have with you? Like, did you have a purse or a backpack or
I had
like
a backpack.
anything? Okay. And did you take that with you when you left? Yeah. Okay.
Is there anything, because at some point, obviously, we're gonna have to go through the house and figure out what belongs to who. Is there anything in the house that like belongs to you that you've left there in the past or anything like that?
Yeah, the only thing I had.
It doesn't say in this who it is, but it says I talked to you on the 19th. Blaker interviewed her first on the 19th. But there's two different people in here. There's two different people in this interview.
I left a green water bottle in Xana's car, the blue one, and then there should be like one of my sorority sweatshirts like in Xana's closet or something that I let her borrow like over like a month.
But nothing like,
No,
I've
nothing
got,
like no, just like
I've got 2 TVs and an Xbox.
no.
Okay.
It's just like clothes and just like little
Okay.
things.
And you probably don't know this, but is there anything like, is there other stuff that is in the house that you know of that doesn't belong to anybody that lives there? Like,
Not that I can think of now.
okay. I noticed, and obviously going there, there's a lot of different types of like alcohol, hard alcohol. There's a lot of like White Claw stuff, but there's also different beers and stuff like that. Like, do you know who drinks what? Like what they're like, oh, this person, they drink this all the time. This person, they drink this all the time. I'm like,
Mainly just like my close friends is really like I know like I drink white like Dylan like Xana used to drink White Claw sometimes. Like she'd switch between different things.
Why did they redact what she drinks? They redacted what her and Dylan drink. That's crazy to me.
Ethan, I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, that's all I can think of.
that's fine. Some people are like, oh, that guy's Coors Original. He doesn't drink anything but the Buckskins. You know what I mean? Like,
most of our friends kind of drink whatever they can get. So.
Okay. And then on top of that, like kind of going back into like we're on the outside looking in, right? And we're trying to dissect people's relationships and understand like you know, to get this whole picture. And as you can imagine, this is probably like just insane with the amount of people and connections and relationships and communication. And we understand also in college, like there's a lot of sex, there's a lot of alcohol, there's a lot.
This is the first interview that's been that there's a lot of sex. Like what's that got to do with fucking anything?
Drugs, like, and those things can kind of muddy the water. Especially when we're trying to understand from the outside in, like how is this machine, if you make it, how is it moving? How are the cogs working, right? Because when you start talking about the difficult things like sex and underage drinking and drug use and stuff like that, people are they kind of hink up, you know? But like, you know, we have to, you know, we can't let that get in the way of like, understanding how that works. So
they usually, at least around here, when they tear the can like that, so they can spit in it, like tobacco. But that's not a shotgun type of hole. You know what I mean? Who knows though?
I bring that up because, like I said, like we don't care about alcohol, we don't care about drugs, like we don't care. We need to know about it. You know what I mean? So, from my understanding, there is quite a bit of drug use and potentially some maybe in that house. Do you know anything about that?
No, I know that
nobody's gonna get in trouble. Like,
no,
nobody's gonna get in trouble. Like, that is not what this is about.
The only thing I could think of is that like Xana and Ethan, like they sometimes like would smoke weed. I don't know if either of them like had like, I don't know, like a dab pen or like anything like that, but I know like occasionally they would, because like last year they would sometimes.
Okay.
But I can't think of any of the other ones that.
Well, like at parties and stuff, it wasn't like the, hey, pass the 4-foot bomb around the room while everybody's getting rips.
No.
Not that type of.
No.
Okay. As far as, so we talked about alcohol, we talked about drugs. As far as relationship stuff goes, obviously, Xana and Ethan were dating. Do you know any, were they completely exclusive to each other? Did you ever hear if there was any like, oh, maybe she cheated on him or he cheated on her, or like, you know, was there any different kind of love interest? Did different people like, does that make sense?
I think that they were pretty exclusive to each other. Like once they like actually like made it official last spring that they were like boyfriend and girlfriend. Because over the course of like last year, like last school year, like Xana and another guy named he like they kind of had like a little thing going on.
I think she just said Mason Barstow.
Because over the course of like last year, like last school year, like Xana and another guy named he like they kind of
William, they're not like that though. I mean, the other Mason. So you poke a hole in the bottom of it with the knife or your thumb. You know what I mean? Poke a hole in the bottom, hold it up, and open it. And that's the hole would be at the bottom of the can, not the top of the can. You know what I mean? But You can open anything with a knife. I'm sure. Right, I know. They ripped the top of the can. And I think it's because what they do around here is they'll do that and they'll use it as a spit like a spit container. Like they push down on the tab. And let me see if I can do this. Hold on. See it? There's a lot of them like that.
Had like a little thing going on. Like they took each other to like their like sorority and fraternity, like formals.
Okay.
And
that was.
Does it look like this way?
Xana. Yeah.
But that was prior to.
That was
her and Ethan officially dating.
Oh yeah. But that's the only because Xana never really had like a boyfriend or anything before. I know like her and Nick kind of liked each other and their whole thing was kind of off and on. And then her and Ethan started like hanging out more last year, and then they started.
Yeah, but I'm sure she gets dipped in too. That's why we would need the contents of them cans. They would have, and there's some. I think there's some. Yeah, that was Bethany's room, and there's some in the spare room. I know. I seen them. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's why I'm thinking there was men there. You know what I mean? Because none of them girls dipped.
Dating this last spring.
Okay.
But
and then they could have ran the contents of all of them spit cans and said who exactly was in the house.
I haven't like heard anything of them like cheating on each other, like.
Okay, so nothing. Were they like on and off a ton? Like, oh, I broke up this week, back together this week, next week, like.
I never heard anything of them like getting in like a big fight and like taking a break from each other or anything.
Yeah.
Like they had their like little small things, but like they never like broke up with each other. It wasn't like an on and off kind of thing.
Okay. And then as far as a boyfriend, right? Which is. Yes, thank you. As in, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about like, what is that? Are they doing a long distance thing?
Yeah, they're doing long distance. They've been dating for about 2 years. They did long distance all last year, and then also like the beginning of this year. But as far as I know, they're like really good. Like, she hasn't told me about like any major fights or anything that's happened. Like she'll tell me when she gets like annoyed with him, like over like a message or something. But as far as I know, like they've been good and like nothing's happened there.
Okay.
Yes, 100%, Witchy. So many things were on purpose.
And as far as like other boys or other girls, like has she ever mentioned, oh, you know, this one time he cheated on me or whatever, I think he did, or like the other way around, you know, if she's ever cheated on him, and Does he know about it?
Can somebody put Christy's channel? I don't know, can you do that? I don't know how.
Or does he not know about it?
Yeah.
Do you know any of that stuff?
I've never heard her say anything about like him cheating or her being like suspicious of anything.
Yeah.
But she did tell me like at some point last year, one of our sorority sisters like texted and told him that Dylan cheated on him at like a party or something.
Oh, right there. Right there. Last year, a sorority sister texted her and told her they were cheating on them. Shit. Hold on.
I've never heard her say anything about like him cheating or her being like suspicious of anything.
Yeah.
But she did tell me like at some point last year, one of our sorority sisters like texted and told him that Dylan cheated on him at like a party or something.
Okay.
Which is weird because Dylan wasn't friends with that sorority girl. So,
Okay.
but that's the only thing that I ever heard of was that a girl in my sorority texted and said that like Dylan cheated on him.
Okay. But that was completely untrue, or
Yeah,
you don't know, or
I mean, I'm pretty sure it's untrue. I mean, obviously, like Dylan told me like it wasn't true and like it was made up, and like knowing the girl that said it, like it don't.
Wouldn't surprise you.
It wouldn't
if that
surprise
was
you, yeah.
Okay. Does not have a boyfriend, correct?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
Why didn't he ask who it was?
You know, I mean, what's her?
A little bit more because she took him to our sorority formal on that Friday.
Okay, so maybe kind of potentially establishing a little bit of a.
Yeah, like I think like they kind of had like feelings for each other, but there was no like official label or anything on it. They were just kind of like hanging out and.
Okay, and do you know? Would she usually spend the night at their place, or did people come over to her house because they like this? Sorry, what's his name?
Kai?
A fraternity or what?
Yeah, he's in a fraternity. Yeah.
Okay, so is he in a house or is he off campus?
No, he lives in the house.
Okay, so does he come over to? Do you know if he would come over to her place more often because she's off campus, has her own?
Yeah, he would typically go over to, her house.
Okay. Kaylee. Do you know anything about her relationship? I don't know how. I know you talked.
No, no, not really. Because I didn't meet Kaylee until the beginning of this school year when she was living with all of them. Because like last year I didn't go to their house a bunch because it was like older girls and I wasn't really friends with them. But then after like Dylan and Xana moved in this year, like I started being there way more, and that's kind of how I met Kaylee. But I don't really know much about like her relationship with anyone.
And same with Maddie, or you do know Maddie better?
Maybe just a little bit more. Like I've been around Maddie more, I think, like especially like last year, like we'd always be at the same place and stuff. And like I've met her boyfriend Jay before.
Okay.
And I saw him this school year when he came up to visit on like homecoming or like alumni weekend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's.
Did either one of them, Kaylee or Maddie, did you hear from like anything about Kaylee or Maddie, like having a side piece or kind of doing their own thing, or like was any of that gossip like relayed to you, or did it ever happen?
No, and I don't like, even if something like that like did happen, I don't think. Oh, actually, no. I did hear that last spring break, Maddie kissed a boy on their like Mexico trip.
Okay. How'd that? I guess let's talk about that. Would you?
So it was that told me, this was like last year though when it happened, that Maddie kissed a guy named on that spring break trip, but I don't know if like Jay found out about it or not. But I just
did that lead to some drama?
Not that I know of. Like I didn't hear anything after that.
She just said Connor, right?
She just told me that like, oh, like I heard that like Maddie kissed this guy like on their spring break trip in Mexico.
Who all like went on the spring break trip? Like, is that a whole sorority that went, or like a group of like 30 people, 10 people?
I think it was like a bigger group and like people from like different like fraternities and sororities like on our campus. Okay. I do know Beth was on that Mexico trip though.
Okay.
But and then like was the one that she kissed, but I can't like exactly remember who was all on that trip.
How does he fit into knowing them? He's in a sorority or fraternity.
He used to. He's in the house, which is where Jay was in before he graduated.
Okay. Do you know him?
Who? I like been around him a couple times last year, like at a party or something, but I never really like had like conversations with him. It was more like a hey and like give each other a hug kind of thing.
Okay.
Were they? So is Connor and Jay like friends?
I would think so. I'm not exactly sure because I mean they were in the same fraternity together, but I don't know like if. I mean,
well, you're assuming that they kind of.
So Connor and Jack. No, she was saying Maddie's boyfriend was Jake, right? Maddie's boyfriend was Jake. And is that who Maddie kissed Connor? Is that do I have that right? And Jake and Connor Maddie kissed Connor while she's going out with Jake in a long distance relationship with Jake. And Jake and Connor are in the same fraternity.
That he knows them through him. So I mean, obviously there must be some sort of friends or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But you're not really. I'm sorry. I'm just.
No.
I'm
Yeah. Like I guess.
loud,
Yeah. I'm not like 100% sure, but.
Understand. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Was that like a one-time thing, or did he kind of like keep trying to come back or come around the house or communicate, or would you even know?
I wouldn't know. I just heard that one thing, and then I never heard anything else after that. So.
Okay. What about Kaylee? I know she'd recently broken up. Was there, I guess, were you made aware of any, or did anyone tell you about?
And Connor and Maddie,
her boyfriend, or going through a phase, or doing her own.
Connor and Jake were in the same fraternity, right?
Thing for a little while.
No.
Okay. Did you know who she was? Didn't she start dating after she broke up with her ex?
Like dating a new guy?
Yeah. Or was she hanging out with somebody? Was she? I shouldn't ask. Was she? Do you know if she was?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Or I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I wasn't very close with Kaylee. And like usually when I was over there, like there was multiple people there, so like I don't know if she was like specifically hanging out with one person.
Yeah. It's interesting, or it was, I guess, coincidental because I was actually going to ask you about if something happened over Parents' Weekend that might have happened with your mom in the trailer. Did you hear about anything like somebody getting rowdy and like getting asked to leave?
Oh yeah. Yeah, there was a guy, I mean, he's my friend, but he was like really drunk and he was like kind of like saying stuff to like some of the other parents in the trailer. And then he went up to one of the moms and like not really like hit her hard, but like with an empty plastic water bottle and kind of like hit her on the top of the head. And then he was asked, like my mom like asked him to like.
And this was a student?
Yes.
Okay.
Who was that?
It's.
She said Ethan? Yeah, Demetrius was playing the trying to make Emma a star. You know what I mean? And playing the basically a pimp. Stoner. Yeah. So that was before. That wasn't new. They've been arrested and already going through court. And guess what kind of car Demetrius's brother drives? A white Elantra.
And was that like add a character for him, or like just?
I mean, he's usually kind of like an asshole, especially like when he's drunk. And like I know he's like gotten like kind of like physically like rowdy before. So I wouldn't say it's like out of the ordinary.
And were you there? Like, you watched this happen or whatnot? Or
I watched him hit the mom in the head with the water bottle, but then I heard from like other people that like he was like kind of like saying like comments or something to the parents. But then like I was there, like I was watching like when my mom like asked him to leave and like he got out of the trailer and.
Okay.
If she says Ethan, it puts a whole new she's the only one that has a like negative outlook or says anything bad about
Okay, give us 1 sec.
Okay.
and then it just ends.
you want a bottle of water or a soda or anything?
Oh, we have a bottle of water.
Yeah, let me see if I can track one down for you.
And then it's over. That's the end of it.
And was that like?
Who was that?
It's.
Okay.
And was that like?
Who was that?
It's.
Okay. Who was that?
It's.
Okay.
And was that?
Who was that?
It's.
Okay.
And was that like?
Who was that?
It's.
Okay.
And was that like? Add a character for him, or like just?
I mean, he's
Hold up,
kind
bro.
of like an asshole, especially like when he's drunk. And like I know he's like gotten like kind of like physically like rowdy before.
The way this ends, there's another part. There's more of this. There's more to this interview. They ask her if she wants a bottle of water, and then it ends. I mean, is that, am I an idiot for thinking that? All the other ones are like, thank you, we'll be in touch. Anything else you got? Can you think of anything else? What the hell? Oh, let's everybody go to typically. I don't want to stream her live, but
I just have to. It pulls our expenses into one place and breaks down spending by team.
Interesting. Can it generate reports?
It can now.
Nice. That's actually pretty good. If you're going for generic.
How about?
all right. Everybody go over tomorrow. Will be probably 10 or 11 o'clock. All right, everybody go to typically. Yeah, there's more. There's more of this second interview. There's more. There has to be. There's more. There's more. She's talking about the David case. I might come back on live later. Don't forget, we still need I think $175 if you feel inclined. Go to typically.